What is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashions. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a blind taste test. We're going to do some ryes for Friday, Rye Day. I thought it rhymed. I went with it. I started off the night with a little New Rift Kentucky straight rye 8-year. The 8-year. This has actually been one of my go-tos lately for ryes. So, but this one's not in the blind. I was just figuring I'd get myself warmed up with a little 100 proof. You know, I'm not the best at the rye blinds, but we do got four little bangers of rye, barrel proof or cast strength, however you want to word it. It's totally fine with me. But four little bangers that I think should be in the competition. Plus, I got a new one, right? And every time I get a new one, I always say it's the best rye. But this time, we'll not be opening it first. We're going to blind it first. That way I can kind of grade it without even knowing what I'm trying. Now, I've had the other ryes somewhat in this month or a couple months for most of them. Yeah, most of them I've had at least this month. So we're going to dive in. Let's go ahead and start with the first one. Click a little music with it, right? Amps it up. We do have Old Forester's single barrel strength rye. Now this one's going to be coming in at 129 proof. Mash bill on this is going to be 15% corn, 65% rye, and 20% malted barley. This one's coming in at around $105 at Shores Liquor in Jacksonville, Florida. Warehouse L, floor number 1. I hear really good things about this one. This one's been hitting the bourbon Facebook groups, right? Little chat rooms, right? A lot of people were saying that they were low on stock, so I figured I had to pick it up, right? Just based off simply, I won't be able to get it again. I hear it's good, and I love Old Foresters, so I feel like this is a solid little pickup. But we're gonna try it in the blind. Next up on the list is gonna be Old Faithful, Jack Daniel's single barrel strength rye. Now you guys know I picked this one up a couple months ago, and it's coming in at 134.5 proof. This one was the highest proof of the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof ryes that I've found to date. I wanted to really hold off and make sure that I got one higher proof. I just really liked the regular one, the non-rye version whiskey, at the 133 that I got. So I wanted something similar just to see if like the rye would be just as good, and it is. So this one, it's going to be mash bill of 18% rye, 12%. Wait, I'm sorry. I put that in wrong. I apparently put 0% rye. Obviously, it has more rye than 0%. 18% corn, 12% malted barley, which means 70% rye. Let's see. This one's going to be Barrel House 1-07, barrel number 24, and a bunch of other stuff. This one's coming in kind of that mid-range price point of $69.99. Now, I know it's going to fluctuate a little bit more or a little bit less, just depending on where you're at and where you're buying it, and of course, tax. But a little mid-range price. Then you have, of course, next up on the list, which is going to be one of the newer ones we got, the Still Austin Cast Strength Rye. Now, this one is a mash bill of 100% rye, 116 proof, 2-year age. Only 2-year age, obviously, because it's out of Austin, Texas. You know, I love Still Austin. So this one, I felt like I had to throw in. I liked it a lot when we cracked it open. But now that's probably opened up, we're going to see how it kind of stacks up against everything else. This one, though, is a little bit cheaper than the other two, which is going to be $54.99. I price everything kind of around where Total Wine's at because they usually just are MSRP. So that's also where I got it. Then last minute, I went and I forgot I had the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Barrel Proof Rye. I didn't have fancy music or video for this one. So this one's just 112.2 proof. You guys know, if you know Wild Turkey, this one is a banger of a bottle. I've obviously put a pretty hefty dent in this one, but I didn't even realize it's just sitting up on the top shelf, literally right before we went live. I go, oh, I do actually have one more. Let me throw it in. I have other ryes, just don't have other barrel proofs. But I figured once I saw this, if you guys found out I had it, didn't add it in, I would hear about it. So we're going to go ahead. The wife's going to come in. She's going to blind them up. She'll hold up the number so you guys know which bottle's going in which. And then we're just going to kind of figure out which one do I like the best. You know, I'll give you guys some tasting notes here and there, but really my main goal of this is to figure out which one is the best. Like what am I feeling is the best? And then we can kind of grade it later on based off the price and things like that, because they're all similar. Even the wild turkey is around $55, so it's kind of, these two are the more quote unquote budget versions for this blind. Little middle range bottle for Jack Daniels, and then you have the Old Forester coming in at the most expensive. It's also considered a single barrel, but you know, it's not like a store pick or anything like that. So let's check the chat real quick as she gets in here. You have Suka says new start time. New start time. Kinda. I'm playing with the times. I'm trying to figure out when we should start. Joker says, "What's up, family? What's going on, Joker? Welcome to stream." Christian says, "I feel so refreshed with this start time. I'm still on my warm up pour." See, I have mixed reviews. Like people want me to start later, they want me to start earlier. I just want to kind of get a good idea. The 9:30 might not be bad. I've been starting at 10 lately because of hockey though. Cheers says, Liz says cheers. North Florida says no mixers barrel strength rye. I mean, hey, we're balling. We ain't balling like that. So the wife's here. She's gonna go ahead and pour these up, and I'm just obviously gonna leave the room, so I don't know. I'm gonna leave the mic with her. I'm taking my drink. You can talk to the mic.
Hello, boys. Hope you're having a good night. How does he do this here? Okay. All right, he's gone. Okay, so, I forgot my phone. Sorry. I have to be able to write down what I pick. Sorry. Okay. All right. So we'll start with Old Forester, and we'll go number 3. I always get told that I pour them too much, so I'm going to try and not pour too much here. Gotta write it down. So number 3 is Old Forester. Hope you guys are having a good night. And then this is Jack Daniels. I'm writing it down so I can send it to him after he tastes everything. We'll go number 1 for Jack Daniels. Number 1. I might be pouring these a little too heavy. And then Still Austin Cast Strength, I think. We'll go number 2 for this one. Is that upside down? And this one, Rare Breed, so number 4. Number 4 for Rare Breed. All right, boys. I hope you guys have a good night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we better put them on here before I slide these around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the pour has been, or the blind has been poured. Tuxedo's running late. He said he's hurrying home. That's at least what's being said in the Discord. Whether if you believe him or not, that's up for you guys to decide. So, let's get with the chat real quick. There we go. Optimal Life says, great picks tonight. Still Austin Cast Strength is my favorite right now. I really enjoyed the Still Austin Cast Strength. I love the Still Austin Cast Strength, just bourbon. The rye is pretty good, but the bourbon's where it's at. That Tanger, but I think the Tanger's in a different ballpark than everything else. So obviously I warmed up with the new Rift 8-year, but let's go ahead and dive in to this blind. Lordy, 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 lordy. All right. Should we just go down in order or like... Okay. No volunteers. No volunteers for the tribe. I'm going to try and get some of these out of the way. I don't know how well that's going to work. It's probably good enough. Probably good enough. Anyways, let's dive in to number 1. This one. And the floor says, I've been wanting... Why is that so small? There we go. I've been wanting each of those bottles. Excited to hear the review. I mean, I believe there's in-depth reviews on most of them, except for the Old Forester, because that's brand new. I've never even had the Old Forester. I'm excited to try that one. A lot of people hyping it up in the Facebook groups about Shores Liquor having it and stuff like that. So that's why I got it. But, off the back, if I had to guess a winner, like I put up a poll. We'll bring it up towards the end of the stream, but everybody's picking the Jack to win. I feel like the Jack, or possibly even the Wild Turkey, could win just because I feel like I would gravitate towards those first. But if you kind of dive into this one, number 1 feels a little bit more like, honestly, if you didn't tell me it was a rye right away, I may not even guess that. Just being honest. There's definitely rye spice in there, but I get a little bit more like leather. That's what I'm going for. A little leather. You still get like some sweetness, like some, I don't know, caramel. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Maybe some butterscotch, but what is it when she pours these blinds? Like she forgets, like I have to make it through the entire stream. She just be powerhousing me through these, pouring me up like Mac Daddy ones. I guess it's okay in a blind, but Jesus. Kind of threw me off. I almost dumped it on my face. It's got a good, really good spice level on that one. A lot more sweetness than I was expecting. Even from like any of these, I feel like it's more butterscotchy, right? More caramel vibes. A little candy dip apple, maybe. I don't know. Now I'm throwing out weird shit. It's got like a good level to it though. I'm not the best with the rye. Like the rye notes throw me for a loop. That's why we like doing these, because it's like I'm gonna say some weird shit, but that's what we're here for. Overall, I enjoyed that pour. It's in the lead. It's the only one so far, but it's in the lead. Norflor says, I'm sure I'll like them all. To each his own. To each his own. All right, let's just go down the line then. We'll go number 2. I forget sometimes too, like with the barrel strength stuff, especially on the ryes, like their finish is like heavy. Like it's in a good way though, but you just don't kind of like think about it too much until it's like hitting you. This one's got a lot more fruit. More fruit. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I instantly started thinking like strawberries, like red fruit vibes. This one definitely doesn't have as much like punch you in the face, like rye spice. Um, let's dive into the palate. My nose sucks. My palate's pretty spot on. The nose is touch and go. Okay. This one's a lot lighter. The other one I'm gonna say just automatically probably has more proof. This one feels lighter, but it also feels sweeter, like there's honey or something in there. That one's hard. That one's harder. It's different. It's way different from the other one, but it's got some spice, a little bit of black pepper, more honey than anything, really, and obviously like that red fruit, a little bit of like faint oak on like towards the finish. It's good. I'm not gonna say it's better than the last one though, but it's good. It depends on who you are, I guess. Like me, I wasn't the biggest rye person right out the gate. Now we're doing rye blinds, right? Who would have thought? Um, but like if I was going for a rye, I would go with number one so far. Number two's good. It's more sweeter, more fruitier, more approachable for somebody that likes bourbon for sure. But I don't know. There's just something about it that makes me go like maybe I just grab a bourbon. It kind of feels like it's playing in the middle ground. I like it though. I like it a lot. So let's put, so far it's one, then two. What are the odds? IROC says, I'm going to Buffalo Trace in the morning, leaving early, hoping for a limited release. IROC, we've been best friends since day one. Like, whatever you want to pick me up, it's fine. Like, any of the, like, the hard to get stuff, like, I'm fine with it. Kidding. Have a good time, though. I'm excited for you. Obviously, throw it in the Discord. Let us know what you get. It says, Happy Fresh Crack Friday. You should put fry or rye day. I'm not gonna let that one go today, am I? Not gonna let it go. Anyways, let's keep going through the blind. Obviously, one's in the lead, second's in second place because there's only two so far. Let's go to number three. I will say, right off the back, I'm sure it doesn't pull up on camera. Two is like completely like different colors than three. Three is way darker. So I don't know what that means because I don't know the age on any of them besides the Still Austin. And Still Austin's typically a little dark, even though it's only 2 years. But this one's got some color. Rock says, what? He says, "What's up, Bear? Ha ha ha. Hey, I'm not asking for much. I'm just saying, like, whatever. Like, if you find like a couple pappies, you want to send it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for it." He's like, "I'll be sending pics, probably a hunt out a little out there too." Hey, I'm here for it. If you find any like crazy like Woodford's distillery only, let me know what you find. I don't know, depending on what it is, obviously. I'll pay you for it. Just let me know. All right, let's dive into number three here. Okay. That one had a little bit more on the nose there than I was expecting. Okay, okay, so right off the bat, this one's got a little bit more ethanol than the other two. A little harder to cut through. It smells sweet, but also like really spicy at the same time. Like that's my first initial reaction to diving in this one. It's like it's got some sweet notes in there, but by all means, got a lot more spice. The ethanol on this one, surprisingly enough, I don't typically have an issue with it, but it's a little bit harder to cut through, which also means it's probably one of the higher proofs. IROC says we're going to Woodford's too. I'll let you know. Bro, what the? Where was the invite? I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. You know. No, though. Have fun, though. Have fun. Absolutely. Definitely take pics. Discord it up. I want to see all that shit. Is she fucking with me? Is this a rye? Bro, at first, all I got was like cola. Don't think that's going to be in a rye. It might be chocolate. I got to go for the sip. The nose is absolutely driving me nuts. I can't figure it from its ass from its tails right now. Artful says, sexy B-roll, call me old-fashioned. Loving the horizontal format. I love horizontal. Just not a lot of people show up for the horizontal for whatever reason. But the B-roll, I mean, it's not my best work. I did it in like an hour. I'm not actually happy with it at all. But it does look good. It's going to do the job. But I appreciate it. You guys always have the best editing, so I mean. This one's weird because the nose has so much ethanol on it, right? Like it almost was like hard to cut through, and the palate doesn't have it. Like it doesn't translate to the palate at all. Okay, maybe I didn't take a big enough sip or something. It's there. It's more towards the back of your palate. This one's different. This one's way more like it almost, I mean, I don't think none of these are double oaked. It almost feels like a double oaked, right? Like it has a lot of like vanilla caramel sweetness vibes, more caramel than vanilla, but it has like a chocolate note. That was a chocolate note that I got earlier. But it still kind of has that like peppery rye spice feel to like the tip of your tongue to like the back, but it's more like it almost feels like a burr rye. There is kind of like a cola note though. I might be tripping. Did she swap something else? I like this one. I like it a lot, but it feels more like a you know, the more you kind of sit on it, the more it does kind of feel like a rye. I'm horrible with blinds. You know what I mean? Like I'm good, but when I start like overthinking it in my head, I'm like, what am I drinking? Like I try not to like guess because that influences it sometimes. But also like doing a blind's a lot harder because you're trying to focus on the notes and your mind just starts kind of racing. Like, what am I actually picking up? I like them for that reason though, because it kind of gives you more like, hey, this is what you're actually getting. Um, the back of your palate though kind of dries out, but I like it. I like it a lot. If I had to guess right now, just on like I'm gonna have to run it back one time, but that finish is nuts. Um, I'm probably gonna put this tied with number one. So 1 and 3 are tied. Number 2 is gonna be last place so far. Um, and then I have just number 4 left. Anyways, in the chat, let me know what is your favorite rye to drink right now. Do you guys like rye? Do you hate rye? Where are you at with your rye journeys? You know, JC, the rye guy, used to be in here all the time. He used to give me great recommendations. He hasn't been here a while, so I need new rye recommendations, not just like the same old stuff. Obviously, give me something different, and then I'll try to find it next time I go out in the wilderness. Um, the finish on 3 though, that one's probably the longest finish I've had for this, for what we're doing here. Let's dive into number 4. 4. What do you say? Irex says, hell yeah, Barrett. I'll update y'all. I mean, we're here for it. Here for all the updates. This one's kind of fruitier too. This one, like right off the nose, was like got a little ethanol there. Like lemon. I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking lemon cheesecake, but I was thinking like a lemon cheesecake. You know, like what's funny? This is a little off topic. The first time I like saw like tasting notes that were done like with some real thought into them was when I went to Still Austin. Actually, not went there, but I was on their website and I was looking at the tasting notes that was typed out, and it was like these long, like granny's, my grandma's, Sunday apple pie dipped in caramel, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, who thinks of notes like that, right? I'm gonna say at first I was wrong, and then of course it was Nancy Fraley, aka the blender. She and she was happened to be in the chat that day as I was saying that, which made me kind of like eat my words a little bit. But like I didn't really realize like people could do that, and it's more of just triggering the memory, right? Is why that kind of happens for tasting notes, right? That's why I kind of get gushers and fruit roll-ups a lot, because that's like where the red candy note would be for me. Somebody else may think sweet as fish or Sour Patch Kids or whatever, but like that's what it triggers for me. Um, for this, you know, cheesecake, lemon cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory is what you're getting. God, one thing I can't get over is like the ethanol on the rye stuff. It's kind of like beating my ass up. I will say, like on the nose, I might just be crazy, but I got like a little a little Mickey D sweet tea action going, and my glasses are clean, by the way. There ain't no sweet tea in this shit. I like it. Don't get me wrong. First impressions on the palate, it's just not. It's not what I want in a rye. It's way more like lemon grassy, super like earthy, like but not like Christmas earth, right? It's like dirt earth, right? If that makes sense. Like it's good. I don't know how to say it without like shitting on it for a second. Like it almost feels like lemon pledge, right? I don't want to like shit on it. I like all these bottles, but like whatever it is, like the lemon part just is not like working right now. It's like lemongrass feeling, so it's just not. I don't know. It's almost like lemon cheesecake with grass on it and like a little bit of like little apple dust. I'm not feeling it. It could be today, it could just be whatever, but like yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, hopefully that's not the old Forster I just bought. Jesus fuck. I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I liked it, but like when you compare it to the other three I just drank, like that's not the purchase. Respectfully to whichever bottle it is, it just wasn't the move. Number 4, it just didn't. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever it was, it just felt. Again, let me dial back. I'm not the biggest rye person. I like rye. I love a whiskey and ginger. You guys remember when I did a whiskey and ginger on the channel and I used bourbon? Everybody's like, it's not fucking whiskey. I found out that I really love rye whiskey with ginger ale. One of my favorite cocktails. Obviously, old fashioned takes number 1, but that whiskey ginger, bro, is fucking money. I don't know. I never drank it before. It's never been like, let me get some ginger ale. Now I'll make one later so you can see the ginger ale, but not with whatever number 4 is. Not the move. RMZ's Life says, good evening, everyone. RMZ, welcome to stream, baby. Happy Friday. Hopefully your week went good. Hopefully you got a good pour going. I will say, one redeeming factor, the finish on 4 actually is starting to like kick up, or it's just the other 3 were just such great finishes. I still feel those. Artful says, so I did the cast strength rye blind, and the Old Forester finished first. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof finished second. We didn't put the rare breed rye in, but damn good. Would have been a good one to add. I almost didn't add it. I forgot I even had it. It was on the top shelf, and literally as I was like setting the lights up, I go, "Is that a rye?" Pull it down. I go, "Oh fuck! I forgot I had the old Wild Turkey rare breed barrel proof rye." I was like, well, this is a barrel proof blind. Let's add her in. You know, now I like all these kind of equal. That's what makes this like super unbiased. Like I could care less who wins. You know, I like Still Austin probably the most as a brand, but that's just like I'm rooting for the underdog. You know, I love Still Austin what they do. Um, to be honest, like if I had to guess, I don't think my two number ones are Still Austin. I could be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. But like I'm thinking Wild Turkey or the Jack are probably gonna be what's in my top two here. So right now, 1 and 3 are tied. 2 is gonna be a solid third place. 2 is third place, no matter which way you look at it here. Number 4 is dead last. Sorry about your luck. Let me run through. Um, let me run through number 1 and number 2, or number 1 and number 3 one more time. So sipping on some Stag 22A tonight and making old fashions with Wild Turkey 101. That's not a bad combo. You see what happens when I get buzzed when I'm start drinking some stuff. I'll start making old fashions with Stag. I start doing weird shit. If you guys hung out with me off of stream, you guys would start trying to punch me in the face about how I drink my whiskey. But I drink my whiskey the way I want to, so I mean, by all means, do the same. But I'd be getting fucking weird. God damn. Whatever one is, there's no shocking that thing has proof. I'll promise you that. That thing just punched me in the throat compared to 4. All right, so 1 and 3 is how we're trying to debate the winner. Fuck me, they're both really good. Arvo says, I think the rare breed rye is a barely legal rye. Okay. This is probably the best one to transition to ryes. I don't know which one's which. Maybe that's 3 then. Just because 3 right now, I don't think you were in here when we first did the blind. So maybe you can wait to find out. But 3 to me is probably the one that feels more like a burr rye. Don't know why. It just feels more like it has like a chocolate note. It almost feels like a double oak, which is more up my alley. Like if you guys have watched the channel for any time, you kind of know what my palate looks like. Like you guys know, I like bourbons more. I like things a little bit sweeter, but I also like oak, and I really love chocolate notes. Just whatever about chocolate notes about it just really just sets the tone for me in a bourbon. I just really like it. Number 1's incredible too. Number 2 over here would probably be the most approachable to getting into ryes. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point. I don't know which ball is which. I could be talking out of my ass, but like number 2 felt the most approachable. It felt like light, sweet, fruity, honey. I don't know. It felt like one of the lower proof ones too. Maybe that's why I'm saying that. 4, I don't know. I don't know what 4 is. You and you both. Oh, me and you both. Hell yeah. All right, let me finish this up. Let me dial in here a second. Try to figure out who's going to be the winner, 1 or 3. So I think it's fair because like before I even take that sip, I think what I'm feeling right now is 1 would feel like the people's choice for a rye, right? If that makes sense, it feels like the best rye whiskey. Hear me out. Hear me out. It feels like the best rye whiskey. But 2, or I'm sorry, 3 is a rye whiskey. These are all ryes, but 3 feels like it would be the best for me, right? Because it is a rye, because everything up here is a rye. But it has like similar notes to what I would gravitate towards. Yeah. I'm gonna go with 3. 3 is the winner. But I think like if you watch the channel and feel like your palate really matches up with mine, 3 would be your go-to. but anybody else probably should gravitate towards 1 because I'm choosing 3 simply based off of that chocolate note, a little bit more oak on it. It's still sweet, but also has a really great finish. And the spice is more like peppered in throughout the entire thing rather than just punch you in the face with the spice. So final verdict here is going to be 3. Hold on. 3, number 1, number 2, number 4. Let me text the wife and get the results. Results. All right, while we wait, let me check the chat. Christian said, Jack Bonded Rye is great rye whiskey to start the transition from 100 proof, 7 years old, I'm sorry, and straight delicious. I do want that one. It's a little bit harder to find. I find the Bonded and the triple mash. The triple mash is incredible. Bro, that thing's like berries and cream to me. I really like the triple mash. I do want to get the Bonded Rye. But the only thing I would say, like, when I'm being realistic, when I look around in a liquor store, like, that's not my first, like, ooh, is it here? Really any ryes not, but like when I start looking for ryes, that's not like what I'm gravitating towards. I may pick up one of the Dark Arts ryes. I really like the bottle. It's kind of why, but I hear good things. But I do think I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked it up. I believe it's MGP. Raph says I missed it. You did miss it, bro. You're gonna miss the whole important part. Enjoy the B-roll that's spinning around, but we did a blind. I'm waiting for the results. Ooh, buddy. Ooh, buddy. Hey, just so you know, when I said it was bad, don't like, nobody beat me up. Okay, hey, don't nobody beat me up over this shit. I have the results in my hand. Let me see if I have a... I have the results. God damn. I just feel weird because, like, I love all these bottles. I shouldn't feel weird, but I was kind of talking smack about 4 a little bit. And, like, I thought they were going to be the winner. I thought they would be top 2. So, number 3, let's go back. Let's go the other way. Let's go the other way. The loser of this contest that I was talking a lot of smack about was number 4, which was the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye. It was all lemongrass, cheesecake. I just don't know what it is. Like, I literally said the words, kind of feels like lemon pledge. Like, it was good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm okay with drinking it, but it just kind of felt not up to par with the other 3. And that's just respect to Wild Turkey. Love Wild Turkey Rare Breed. It's one of my favorite bottles, around $50. But granted, it's just not, in this blind, it didn't work. I'm sorry. Wild Turkey. I still love you. Send me stuff, please, because I'm tired of paying for it. In third place, the one I would have wanted to win is the Still Austin Cast Strength Rye. As much as I loved it, for me, it was sweet. It had berry notes in it. It still had that rye spice, but also felt very honey vibes. But it did feel like a little bit, it did feel younger. It felt more approachable. It felt lower proof compared to the other ones. And it is probably the lowest proof one, or second lowest proof one. But I would say, like, if you were like new to rye, like, this would be a solid pickup. I even said it a minute ago, like, that one's the most approachable one to get into rye with the most like rye feeling. So last place with Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Third place went Still Austin Cast Strength Rye. Now we're down to the final 2. And this is where, like, you kind of get a little dicey, you know? Because I know what the people want. And I did, honestly, I probably nailed this fucking blind. I'm just going to say it. I just nailed the fucking blind. Because I said number 1. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. I said my winner was my winner, but I feel like the people's would want number one because this feels more rye vibes than number three. Number three felt like a burr rye with the chocolate notes and the sweetness level, and it had like that spice still, like for rye, but it just was more like peppered in rather than number one was like punch you in the face rye. So the winner was actually the Old Forester single barrel rye barrel strength. Happens to be the newest bottle, which also makes sense because I had the most trouble with this with the ethanol because I was like, God damn, I was like, that ethanol is kicking my ass. But once you got past it, like there came the flavor, which also means second place is going to be the Jack Daniel's single barrel strength rye, which in granted, I'm sure I can pull up the I can pull up the what do you want to call it the poll I did. And right now, I didn't have the rare breed in there. Granted, I had the Old Forester single barrel proof, still awesome cast strength, and the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. Out of 189 votes, 66% went to Jack Daniel's, 11% went to Still Austin, 23% went to the Old Foresters. So, granted, I do think I was pretty spot on. Like when it came to this blind, like my number one was what felt the best to me. Like as far as like what would I prefer to drink, and granted, as much as I like this one number one feels more like the better rye. But this one is also rye. It's just better to me. I really like the complexity on that one. I would have loved a little bit of red fruit like the other ones had. The other ones had a little bit of red fruit on. This one didn't. But number one, it felt like the highest proof. Just so everybody knows, it is the highest proof actually, right? Yeah, the Old Forester is 129.8 proof, and the Jack is 134.5. So number one, this one, which was in first place, was the Jack. It fits. Now that I know, like I instantly go like, yeah, that's Jack Daniel's. It feels more like what you would want in a rye whiskey. If I was going like, let me take a top down view now that I know what it is. If I went to just have a normal pour and I was like, what's the best pour I can get out of these 4 bottles? I'm gonna go for the Old Forester because that's like what I would drink. If I had a friend over and said, hey, what's the best rye whiskey? He's like, hey, I love rye. Give me your best rye. I'm going to go to the Jack because it feels like the best rye. This one is a rye, but it doesn't feel as much like a rye, if that makes sense. So I'm weird with my tasting notes. I'm weird with my thoughts, but I try to give you guys my honest opinion of what everything is. So there you have it. If you're going to pick up a barrel proof or a cast strength rye, you got to make sure you're buying what's best value. In my opinion, as much as I love the Old Foresters, it's a great pickup, but it's like the most expensive one too. The second most expensive is Jack Daniel's, but I feel like the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye for around $70 is probably one of the better values you can get because I like that one a lot more than I like the other two. And the other two are around $50. I'm not saying buy the most expensive one, buy the one you can afford. They were all great. Now, you can kind of you can kind of complain at me for the other two, but I was talking some shit. That's on me. Raph says Jack's the people's champ. Arvel says I'm drinking Wild Turkey 8-year right now. It's so much better than the 101 small batch. See, Arvel, I feel like you're out here selling me. I like the Wild Turkey 101. And I have the 70th anniversary. I know the 8-year is kind of similar. I don't know if me personally will buy that one. But, I mean, if it's in front of my face, you never know. Arval says, our Old Forester Rye is Warehouse L Floor 1. That's mine. Here, let me pull it up. Old Forester single barrel strength rye is from warehouse or WHSE number L, floor number 1. I mess up the mash bill, but that's on me. It was around $105 at Shores Liquor in Jacksonville, Florida. So yeah, you said warehouse L, floor 1. That's what mine is, and mine's 29.8 proof. So we're like swapping proof points. I'm 1 proof or 0.9 proof points off from yours. So you probably were like the next barrel over. Optimal Life says, awesome blind. I appreciate it. I try. I'm not the best with ryes. Like, if you get me in here with some bourbon, I'll start doing like bizarre shit. Right? I'll be on top of my game. Rye whiskey throws me for a loop. I'd love to say I'm good at rye whiskey notes. I'm just not. I try. But like, you got to think about it. I've only really dove super into the ryes. Oh my God, we're almost 6 months into the year. Holy shit. Maybe the last year then. I was gonna say, when I first started the channel, I was like, screw rye, I'm never buying it. And then I was like, all right, I'll buy one. I'll buy one. Now, the only one I didn't add into this that I wanted to was the Heaven Hill Grain to Glass. I just didn't want to add it in. I don't know why. It's just something about it, because I really like that bottle. But I felt like putting that up needs to go up against what I personally think my favorite rye is, which is the Rocket Top Rye or the New Rift 8-year rye. Both of those were incredible. And like, if you want to know what my favorite rye whiskey is, then it needs to go up against those, not these. These are my barrel proof ones, and I like them a lot. But it's not gonna replace what my go-to is, which would be the Rocket Top or the New Rift 8-year ryes. So, Kristen says the 8-year is 100% worth the extra 20. God damn it, boys! I told the wife I was done buying whiskey for a while, and I came home with this one, a little Old Forester. I really needed the Old Forester rye, though. You guys can explain to her. I have, as you can see, the 1924, 1910, 1920. I even have the Old Forester Mint Julep over there, right? I needed a rye from the Old Forester. You know what I mean? Like, we had to have it. It needed a friend. So, great bottle. I'm glad it won, because it was the most expensive, so it makes me feel a little bit better. I'm a little disappointed in the rare breed, because honestly, I thought the Jack and the rare breed were going to go head to head. When I saw the rare breed, I go, oh shit! Like, I can't even believe I forgot the rare breed was there. And for it to not be included is kind of baffling to me. So I was like, yeah, let me make sure I include that. I didn't expect it to come in last place. I was expecting first or second for sure, right behind Jack or right above Jack, just depending on what my palate was feeling today. But Optimal Life says, yes, you needed it. I did. I always need it. So yeah, now we start trying to figure out, like, what do we drink now? You know what I mean? Like, what do we start drinking? Arfa says, we just got the Wild Turkey 8-year in Missouri. You need to pick it up and do a review on it. It's a tax write-off. You know, Arfa, speaking all facts here. Unfortunately, I'm already at a negative for this year. I've not made more than I spent. I promise you that. Because I spent a good amount of money on whiskey this year. I was trying to dial it back, but like, I will say this year was the best year so far in purchasing whiskey. Whether it's the market dying down or whatever, like, it's been great to buy whiskey. So, Jet says, I feel like I'm the minority where most of my selection is rye. I transitioned into whiskey neat from cocktails, and I always prefer ryes in my old fashioned. Now, a lot of people do. I'm like a weird outlier, I think. Like, a lot of people like rye old fashions. Elijah Craig, actually, where is it? They have like a cocktail mix that's simply for ryes. That is actually really good. for their old fashions. Personally, like my palate is more like I like the desserty things. I like it sweet. I like some spice, but I don't like it overly spiced. That's why I'm kind of like I'm a little bit different. Um, but there's a lot of people that's been in the chat in the past, at least, that likes rye whiskey more. And I feel like the way waves go, like when you get into bourbon, when you stop drinking for effect, you start drinking a drink. You start with like Buffalo Trace, and then you start going through whiskeys and bourbons, and then eventually you get to ryes, and then you're like rye over everything. Like I feel like that's just what people do. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking for whatever, but I definitely got a little lit up there. Christian says, I'm just cracked. Oh, I just cracked a Heaven Hill bonded. Oh, a little Heaven Hill bottled and bond? I mean, that's a money bottle regardless. I saw some like random no-name YouTuber. I wish I could say his name, but I can't remember. That's on me. So shout out to you if you know who you are, apparently. They made a video that like Heaven Hill is gonna have like single barrels or something like that with like new like photos or new images for their labels. I was like, they knew the way to get me to buy another bottle. They're great. I just don't drink them that often. But a good way to get me to buy it is to switch up the artwork because I love good artwork on a bottle. To me, it just fills the room with like unique stories, and that's what I like about a whiskey room. So I'm all about it. So let me know what you guys are drinking on though. I've obviously talked a lot. Let's chat a little bit. I'm gonna let the B-roll play a little bit, but I think we're gonna add this into our little mini rye infinity thing over here that's been slowly accumulating. I am gonna try this though. But it's been a long day, so I do have my Celsius. I will say if there's one sponsor I would ever love to have on the channel, it's Celsius. Somebody hook it up. Tell them your boy's been over here cooking since day one on the Celsius. So Christian's cracking a little Heaven Hill bonded. What is everybody else sipping on? Or if you're not even drinking tonight, what is your most recent, bourbon or whiskey pickup? Like, what did you buy most recently that you were excited for, even if you haven't tried it? Because I'd love to know. One of the things that like kind of it's like my shower thoughts, right? I wish I had a shower going, shh, shower thoughts. Is when I go shopping for whiskey and stuff like that, sometimes I feel like I'm getting writer's block because I go in and I see good stuff and I'm like, I don't know what I want to actually buy. Like, what is going to be good review for you guys? What do I feel like I'm going to like? Because there's a weird middle ground there, right? I'm not going to only buy stuff I like because half of the stuff you guys probably don't care to listen about. I don't want to buy only stuff that's there for views because I also want to drink that stuff, So I'm not just buying bottles for that kind of stuff. I want a good middle ground here. So let me know what you were most excited for on your pickups. I'm gonna try this mini blend of everything before I pour it into that infinity glass. North Florida says sipping on short barrel double oak barrel rye. It's a banger. About to light up a cigar. North Florida, trying to make me jealous. I wish I could get a good cigar going. I did actually. I saw the video. I saw the photo you posted in the Discord about that short barrel. Again, I've been attending my shopping at Shores Liquor lately. Shores Liquor has a similar short barrel double oak bourbon rye. I actually really enjoyed it. They gave me a sample in the store. I didn't buy it just because I already had my hands full And I was like, another $80 bottle is going to push me way over budget. And the wife was going to kill me. But I enjoyed it. It had a chocolate note that I liked a lot. It was sweet, but also had some spice to it. If it wasn't $80, I probably would have got it. And I think like part of that's two things for me. My only short barrels I have are like just heavy, sweet, the sap squatch and the bee's knees. And I'm sure it's not like that. But that's all I thought was like, I'm going to drink this bottle a couple times. I don't want to spend $80 on a couple sips, which I know is not the fact, but that's just what went through my mind. But I'm glad you picked it up. What's your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Jet says, just picked up War Whiskey Double Oak Rye, single barrel out of High Bank Distillery. So I've heard of Whiskey War. I've seen their double oaks. Oh, wait, is it War Whiskey or Whiskey War? I think it's War Whiskey that I've seen. And I saw their double oaks. I've seen it on Seal Box a few times. I want to pick them up because one, part of me thinks it will look cool on the shelf. But two, I hear a couple random good things, but they're not super well known, which also kind of excites me that I'm like, hey, like, I'd love, if it's good, I want to put it out there. If it's not, then I'll just keep it quiet. Arvel says, oh, also kind of pumped about the Middle West cast strength pumpernickel rye that I just got. Speaking of ryes, you say Middle West? What's Middle West? I know about High West. I'm not really that big of a fan of the High West stuff. I don't know why. Just not. Am I thinking of something different, or is it the same thing? Christian says, just picked up the Still Awesome Musician this week and a VDN finished 8-year Bacardi. My parents like rum, so I picked up a bottle every now and then. The Still Awesome Musician is great. Even like, what's crazy to me is the way Still Austin does a couple of their pricing. I'm just going to grab it real quick. Because I just want to, I thought about this when I bought the cast strength. I just wanted to point it out. So, you can get their artist. Let's do Still Austin B-roll as we do this. You can get the Still Austin artist. It's 99.6 proof, which is their normal offering, 2-year age, probably the same mash bill that's on screen, just lower proof than what's on screen. And you can get this for around 35 to 40 bucks. And it's good. And it's almost 100 proof, which is what I like a lot about their basic offerings. It's super close to 100 bucks. Or I'm sorry, really close to 100 proof. There's Still Austin cast strength rye. It is better for sure. It's 116 proof, so it just brings a little bit more to the table. But still, it's only like a $10 difference. So it's almost like they're antagonizing you to buy both, saying, hey, this is going to start you off, but this is going to finish you up. You know what I mean? Like, I think, because the same way for their bourbon, you know, they're priced correctly. The only thing I don't necessarily get is their bottle and bonds. I don't have a ton of them, but we will eventually. I really like Still Austin, so as a brand overall, the ryes are not my favorite ryes, but they're good. So, Bourbon Gator says, I nabbed a Michter's barrel strength rye at my local Winn-Dixie a week or so ago. Damn. I'm kind of jealous. Winn-Dixie is a spot, though, for allocated-ish bottles, right? Because every once in a while they get 1, 2, or a small little truckload, and they just throw it on the shelf and they're like, cool, somebody's going to come in and buy it. There's no gain for them. There's no gain for the employees. So I always check my Winn-Dixies, Publix, sometimes Walmart. Walmart's a little hit or miss, though, because I know the employees be sending those out the back door sometimes, but whatever. Underdog on the Appalachian Trail says, just got, it's all jumbled up. Just got on. Have you guys talked about Sagamore 9-year? We have not. I've tried a little Sagamore Double Oak. I haven't really got into the Sagamore stuff, though. I got salty when they sent everybody else stuff, but not me. Not that I deserve it. Don't get me wrong. I don't deserve it, but I was salty. I was like, damn, like, let me get a little something. Let me get a PR box. I like the boxes. That's what I like. But the Sagamore Double Oak Rye, I actually really enjoyed it. I just didn't buy it. So, Jet says Middle West and High Bank are produce some phenomenal whiskey out of Columbus, Ohio. Oh, okay. So it is Middle West. Maybe I'm tripping. Bourbon Gator says, shh, don't tell him my spot. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Chris says Sagamore is fire. Fucking shit me. Should I go? I've seen them. They were doing samples one day at a Publix liquor for the Sagamore stuff, and I tried a couple things. They were all good. Nothing like blew my mind. The Double Oak Rye was probably my favorite. Um, but I wasn't in there that day for a Double Oak or a Rye. I was in there for something else. And if I was in there just randomly shopping, I probably would have picked it up. It felt like it was a good price. It was good. Now, granted, when you're in a liquor store and you're shopping, everything tastes good. That's my opinion. So, like when you go to Total Wine, you start trying things, you're like, oh, wow, I really like that. It doesn't mean you're going to like it when you get home. So, I'm going to try this blend real quick, and then I'm going to make a cocktail. Kind of. I don't even know how to describe that. That was a dumb idea for me. It was good. It felt more like that Old Forester, though, because it had a chocolate note. All right. Give me 2 minutes. Not even. Give me 60 seconds. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab the I'm going to go grab my ginger ale. Oh shit! This can's about to explode. Andre, wait, that might be Andre. Got my first Weller Antique at a local liquor mart, but a shame for what I paid for. What'd you pay for it? It's okay what you paid for it. I just want to hear. I've never actually picked up an Antique 107 just because like I've never been okay with the price. They've always been 250, 300 bucks, stuff like that. And I'm not going to pay that. Like I understand like if that was going to be my favorite thing in the world, maybe. But it just wasn't. Caterpillar says send nudes. Oops, wrong chat. Caterpillar, you're late. I'm going to have you see HR after work. Adrian, my bad. Arfel says it's cool. I mean, you have to get one anyway. Yeah. So anyway, you can try it. Just don't let it happen again. I don't care. I'm fine with anybody paying whatever they feel comfortable with paying. The big shit I get a lot on this channel is did I spend too much or what I paid for it? And really, price is subjective. I'm not a fan of secondary. I love getting things from MSRP, but I've paid secondaries for a couple things. But like one of the biggest things here would be is if you felt okay paying that price at the liquor store and you walk away and you're happy with it, that's all that really matters. Because at the end of the day, it's your money. You're gonna drink it how you want it. And as long as you're okay with it, who cares? Fuck everybody else. Paid $249. God damn. God damn. I mean, my business over here. Fuck it. Damn. Hey, drink every drop, baby. Drink every drop of that bottle. Don't let it go to waste. So drink it tonight. That way you forget how much you paid for it. Jesus. $249 for an Antique 107? Yeah, my bad, bro. My bad. I was giving you a little speech about paying what you want. I didn't mean to just go fucking crazy. Yeah, 70 for a 107. I would pay 70. And I believe that's even more than you should, right? Well, I don't know what MSRP is anymore, but I believe it's like 50. North Florida says this is a sweet one. Yeah, that short bill is sweet. It's got like chocolate, caramel. It's got a lot of desserty vibes that I personally like. All right, now real quick, this is the ginger ale that I really like. I gotta get it off my focus of my face. Oh, now it's focusing on the liquor. Jesus Christ. All right. This is the ginger ale. Fever Tree Premium Ginger Ale. Don't know why. It's got less sugar. 25% less sugar. Fever Tree, you better hit me up. I'm going to try it with the Old Forester. To be honest, lately, when I'm watching games, I'm just chilling. Like, it's a really good cocktail like that. I don't have to like get super custom on. I don't have to get fancy with it. I just pour and pour, right? I'm just going to pour what I feel is okay for liquor. Usually it looks about 1/3 of the glass, and then I just pour 1 can of this in. And usually I get to sip it a little. It's empty. It was just a sip. But that can was a little weird anyway. But I really have been enjoying the whiskey gingers with rye whiskey. If you haven't tried it or tried that ginger ale, I couldn't recommend anything more. That ginger ale is incredible. I hate soda. Just put that out. I hate fucking soda. I love that. So, and that's soda. Arvel says, oh my God, up in Ohio, weather grows on trees. They're literally everywhere. I hear that. I've never been to Ohio. But, so what sucks is like in Florida, the ABC liquor we don't have state ran in Florida, but ABC is a brand of liquor stores here, just like in state ran stores, it's all ABC stuff. ABC is a liquor store here that has they're the only ones that get anything Weller for whatever reason. That's like the deal they have with them. But like you have to have like fancy membership, whatever shit to get it. And I don't have that because their shit's fucked up. It never counts my points. So I stopped shopping there. But I'll never get that. So any of the other places jack up the price. Hence why I don't have one. So like I get paying secondary. $2.50 is a little too much for me, but like again, if he's okay with it, I'm okay with it. Norfolk says I tried a sample from a friend of Chicken Cock Island Rooster. I really liked it. Going to pick up a bottle for $179.99. No shame, I really liked it. I mean, when we eventually hang out in North Florida, like I'll give me a sample because I'm not paying $179.99 for a chicken cock. Somebody said my condolence. Jesus, I can't speak today. Condolences. I'm just gonna pull it over. Apparently, I don't know English. It says, yeah, they gave me 10% discount because I bought a Bullet 12-year rye with it. The Bullet 12-year rye is money for like a couple bucks. Now that I say that out loud, I know it's like $45, $50. I'd much rather have the Still Austin cast strength than that. But it's a really good rye whiskey. It's one that's like super approachable for somebody transitioning from bourbon to rye. I like it. Bro, Cowboy says, fuck this asshole anyways. Bitching about mixing light sodas. Now he's doing it. My bad. Where in Florida are you? I'm in Jacksonville. So I'm like right on the border between Jacksonville and St. Augustine. So I go to both quite often. It just depends on which store I want to shop at. I'm from Miami. So I like the Miami areas where I know. Jacksonville, St. Augustine's where I've been for a while now. But I also travel a lot for work. So I go to North Carolina a lot, Tennessee a lot, Georgia. Georgia's where I get a lot of my like tater bottles. Because they're flooded with Eagle Rare. It's where I got my stag. You know, like Florida's Not, I mean, it's getting better. When I started the channel, there was nothing in Florida for bourbon. But now it's getting better. And I like it. I like that it's easier to find things. I also think it's because I moved away from a lot of the hype bottles and started things that I personally like the Frey Ranch, Still Austin, New Rift, Redwood Empire. I like all those. So Jet says, I live in Ohio and have never seen Weller in the wild. I have heard they are everywhere in Cincinnati, Daytona, but not in Columbus. Well, that's good to know. Nobody go to Columbus. Underdog says the 12-year bullet is even better, or the 10-year bullet is even better than the 12-year, in my honest opinion. I don't think I've had the 10-year. I only have the 12-year 95 rye. And Bullet, I like Bullet, but I don't buy Bullet because Bullet's like one of the go-to old fashions, like what they use in old fashions when we go to restaurants. Maybe I go to Ford's Garage tomorrow. I'd love to go there. It sounds like a good time. Just thinking out loud. And I like the Bullet stuff, but it's not like it sounds super pretentious. I have a lot of whiskey. I have a lot of whiskey in this room. The Bullet, I just wouldn't really go to it. Now the premix Bullet, right? That little orange bottle, the old fashioned premix. I like that for the price and the conveniency of that, especially when you get the bigger bottle. It's just one of those things where I'm okay with purchasing that, but a bottle of Bullet, I'd much rather spend that money on something else. And if I'm going to make my own old fashions. But maybe I need to check out that 10-year. I didn't pour enough whiskey in that, by the way. Like, it was good. But I put too much ice or too much soda or whatever because it was just... I made it with the Old Forester. I'll say the Old Forester, as much as I really liked it as a pour, it won the best whiskey. Now that I'm drinking this, that Jack Daniel's should be the number one. For sure. Best to me, by far, in the blind. But that Jack Daniel's should be the winner because it's something about it feeling more like a rye whiskey in that whiskey ginger that just is, it's a knockout. So the Old Forester is a better pour, in my opinion, to me. But that Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, that's the money. So if I was going to recommend one, it's going to be that second place. It's a little bit more affordable by about $30. It's also higher proof, and it feels more like a rye. If you want a better bourbon, then just buy a better bourbon. I'm out here just cutting people's throats. Guys, if you're new and you're just tuning in, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 10K. We're not going to hit it for a while. Motherfucker, I was supposed to do a giveaway. We don't have a ton of people in here, so I could probably still do it. I just didn't advertise it. I worked 5 minutes from Buffalo Trace and was able to snack an Eagle Rare 17-year on Tuesday and a Sazerac 18 on Wednesday. I mean, since you're in the chat and you just love the channel so much, I mean, I'll take the 17-year off your hands for MSRP. Like, I'll do that for you. Not for me, but for you. Just let me know the address you want to send it to. I'll let you know the address to send it to. It's okay. Congrats though. If you're able to buy those two, then the 250 on the antique 107s, no biggie. You know, one of my bottles I really want to have for the channel for myself is the Eagle Rare 17. I love Eagle Rare. I don't care for the Sazerac 18. Like, I could do, if I got it, cool. I'm sure I would like it, but I'm okay with not getting that one. There is a Thomas Handy right up the road. It's been sitting there for weeks, but it's like $600. There's also a double Eagle Very Rare for $3,500. I'm not gonna buy that though. Underdog says, how do you like Shores compared to, let's say, PJs? Underdog, you local? How you know about PJs? Don't be leaking my spots like that. What we doing? Um, so I'll answer it because you asked, because I'm always honest. I really like Shores. Shores are everywhere though. So Shores has handful of stores. They're on every main county road. 210, 16, US 1. You know what I mean? They're like everywhere. PJ's is on US 1. I swing by PJ's a lot. That's where I got my bee's knees. Their barrel pick, incredible. They're also kind of part of like Golden Ox though, and I really like Golden Ox. How do I put this? PJ's has a really good selection, but I've never once picked up anything allocated there. I'll pick up their barrel picks. Shore's Liquor, as much as it may suck a little bit, they put their allocated stuff out in front, showing it to you, saying, hey, buy this shit. They mark it up a fair amount, I'd put. It's not excessive. It's something I'm okay with usually purchasing, but it's usually like there in your face. And usually it's like, hey, use this small amount of points. But I will say, when I went in there recently, they had like Blanton's Gold, and you had to use 200 points and spend $200. I was not okay with that. But besides that outlier, I've been okay with most of the stuff. I do like their store picks. They have really good store picks. But normally, if I'm just being honest, Wild Whiskies has been one of my favorite places for store picks. I think their point system is the fairest. PJ's is almost just a little too far out of my way to be like my main store, even though it's kind of right down the road. The one on US 1. Underdog says Shores is getting out of control price wise. Yeah, kind of like shit. Maybe you're talking about the same thing. It's getting a little out of hand. If they're going to keep going like they did with the Blanton's Gold, I mean, I'm going to agree with you there. Prior stuff to that, I'm okay with it. Like I got the Old Foresters that I'm drinking tonight from Shores. They're a single barrel. I got it for like $100. I was okay with that. I felt it was like a little pricey, but like again, I thought it was a fair price. But if you look at overall, Jacksonville's a big market. St. Augustine's a big market. They have to compete with some pretty big, heavy hitting stores like PJ's, like Wild Whiskies. They still got to compete with the Publixes and the Winn-Dixies of the world. You know what I mean? So like, they just have a really good selection on 210, and it's literally 30 seconds down the street. That's why I go to it so often. PJ's the man. Is PJ's the name, or is that just like the name of the building, or is that an actual person? Because I've not met him, but that's pretty cool if it is. I really like their store. Really great pick for their bee's knees pick, and they had a really good selection. I'm just not a big fan of like small stores cramming in a bunch. So like I kept bumping shoulders with people as I was in there. The one on US 1, like that's me nitpicking, right? So don't. I like the store, and they were super helpful too. And now that I recall, they're like, "Hey, what are you looking for?" And I go, "I'm just kind of looking." They go, "Check out the store pick, bee's knees, hot commodity, buy it." And I was like, "I get it. You want to sell your store pick." But I did buy it, and it was really great. So it's just kind of hard to go to that store often for me. But maybe we go this weekend. Maybe we swing by PJ's and see what they have in stock. I haven't been there in like, shoot, I don't know, 6 months. Yeah, okay. Underdog is local. He knows what I'm talking about. He's at Old Force Rye on 210. Had it at 119, but was at the Shores on Avondale. They had it for 89. Picked up 2. Okay, so the Avondale store is new, But I don't like that. I don't like it's priced at one store at one thing and a different store another thing. That's shady as shit to me. I get it. Like it's your store, do what you want. That's just kind of weird to me. Avondale's 60 miles from my house, though. I looked it up. I almost went earlier, but I wasn't gonna go. I'm like, I'm not driving 60 miles um, to a liquor store that I can also go to right down the road. 210's been like the go-to. It's just really close, and I like the people. Now the one guy did kind of like David just subscribed to the family. Welcome, David. Welcome to the stream, baby. Um, the one guy did kind of shame me for spending $100 on a bottle, and I was like, that's kind of weird. Um, but well, I was like, whatever. He's like, I only make minimum wage. Why are you buying that bottle? I was like, okay. I'm sorry. Yes, PJ owns PJs. LOL. That's pretty cool. Kevin says, hopping on late. Cheers. Kevin, welcome to stream, baby. Happy Friday. Hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully you got a good pour and you're about to unwind the day and start the weekend off right. Yeah, I need to swing by PJs in general because I haven't been there in a minute. I'm sure they got some new stuff or some stuff that I haven't seen in a minute. So well, I'll tell him you sent me. I'm gonna tell PJ if I see him there. The underdog sent me to the store, so that way you get some credit, maybe a little, a little hookup in the future. I unfortunately I always spend a lot of money when I go to liquor stores. Caterpillar says beer. Okay, I mean I'm not gonna buy beer, but Aaron said love PJ, especially the new store. Where's the new store? Why am I missing out on all this? The PJs on US One buy. I always go to the St. Augustine Distillery, and when I leave, I buy from PJ. It's usually my go-to. I'll go to the St. Augustine Distillery to get hammered, then I leave, and I'm like, let's stop there. That's how I got the bee's knees. Apple Underdog says, "Yep, I was in the neighborhood, so I stopped by. I don't travel far and wide for something available close. I get that. I like exploring different stores, so I was looking up Avondale, and I know they're trying to promote it because it's newer. But I was like, I'm not driving 60 miles for like probably the same selection. I really like the Shores over there on Wells Road because they have that pour bar, plus they usually put the better stuff there." But I haven't been there in a while either. Arvel says, wait, an employee gave you shit about paying a higher price for a bottle? Okay, let me, just in case he's in here, because I know he knows that I do YouTube. He's a really nice dude. I'll just put that out there first. He's a really nice dude. Nobody give him shit. But when I checked out, I had a bottle of tequila for the wife on sale for $19.99. I thought it was a good price. And then my bottle of Old Forester. And he's like, great, your total price is $125. And then he was like, oh, 125. And I would go, wait, is that wrong? Am I about to get a discount? Is what I was thinking. I'm like, did it ring up wrong? And he's like, wow, it's $100 for that bottle of whiskey. And I go, yeah, were you expecting it to be less? Because I'm just thinking maybe I read the price wrong and it's less. And he goes, no, no, no. I just make minimum wage, so I would never spend $100 on a bottle of whiskey. It's like half my paycheck. And I go, yeah, I get it. Hey, but to each his own. There's great budget bottles. Like I wasn't trying to like shit on him for making minimum wage. I get it. And he goes, yeah, I mean, $100 is a lot of money though. So, you know, I would be able to do that. And I'm like, I don't know I don't know what to say from here because now I feel weird because I did just spend $100 on a bottle, and I don't want you to feel bad. I'm not saying I can all the time either, but I do because I do it for different reasons. So he just made me feel really weird about it. He's a really nice guy. He's in there all the time, but really weird combo today or yesterday. We'll have to do a bourbon hunt one day. I'd love to do a bourbon hunt. PJ, St. Augustine Beach. Ooh, I haven't been on the island though in a long time. Oh wait. PJ's on the island is Nope. Nope. Totally just blanked. Totally just blanked. PJ's on US one, I know. On the island, I heard there was opening one, but I've never been. That'd be a cool spot to go to. Yeah, the old Wendy's spot is the US one, Aaron. Where Wendy's used to be, they moved from the plaza, they moved to their own little separate location. I like that one. It's a little cramped. It's a little cramped, if I'm being honest. But they had a really good selection. They had good single barrels, so I'm okay with that store. Nothing wrong with it. Personally, I like all the bourbon to be out. I don't want to have to look behind the shelf because they're always like, "What can I get you?" And I'm like, just let me look." Um, but Arvel says makes sense. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. You know, I think if you're gonna ring me up, just ring me up. Like that's a weird way to say that, but like, don't make me feel bad for spending $100 on a bottle because I'm like, fuck, should I not buy this? Like, if I wasn't doing it for YouTube and just to have an Old Forester rye, like, you made me feel very uncomfortable about spending $100 at your store. So if I was just buying it because I'm like, maybe this is good, and he's like, oh, that's fucking $100, and I'm like, oh shit, better not do that. Oh, little old fashioned in the chat. Little old fashioned. Cheers, buddy. Hopefully you're doing good. I haven't checked out the channel in a minute, but hopefully you're doing good. Happy Friday. Hopefully you got a good pour going. We've been doing a rye blind. We're doing all types of stuff tonight. So welcome to the stream. Calbo says, same, LOL. I'm poor. That's why I only have Fireball, Seagrams, and Jim Beam, and an ungodly amount of Penelope. Okay, I get it. Aaron says, yeah, that was the first time in that spot. Haven't been to that part of town in a few years. You know, it's really crazy when you drive through St. Augustine, really any part nowadays, it feels like a third world to me because it's just different. I went to the Jack Wilson Chevy dealer when I wrecked the Blazer, and I was about to buy a truck, and I was just like, where am I? But I was like, I used to work there, so like it was weird to like be there. There's no Blockbuster, there's no movies, so it was a weird scenario to be on. So, but let me see real quick. So let me, just for the people that are in the chat as of right now, let me know if you would like me to go live during the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I'll watch the game. You can watch me freak out. We'll drink. We'll have some stuff going on. You know, don't get me wrong. But is that something you'd be interested in watching or attending or hanging out with? Because you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I need to do it from last year, but also not trying to piss off the entire fucking stream. Headshot Sooner says, what was the winner? For the rye blind, so we did 4 bottles. We did the Jack Daniels single barrel proof rye. We did the Wild Turkey rare breed barrel proof rye. Old Forester single barrel strength, and Still Austin cast strength rye. Number 1, in my personal opinion, for pour reasons, not just straight up everything, would have been the Old Forester. It almost felt like a burr rye. That's why it won. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof came in second. And in my opinion, after the fact, because this is the Old Forester, it just doesn't hit the same. The Old Forester was a better pour to me. It just fit my profile, but the Jack is the better rye. Then it went Still Austin. Yeah, Old Forester's, Jack Daniel's, Still Austin. Then the rare breed came in last, and it felt like Lemon Pledge. So it was it was a weird blind. You can rewatch it though once it ends if you can't now. But that Jack's probably my best recommendation for ryes. David says yes. Aaron says let's do it. North Florida says do it. Kevin says as a Star fan, I guess. Kevin, Saint your year, my guy. Appalachian says book it. All right, fucking shit, boys. Last year, you can rewatch it. Last year we went live for every finals game. Now I get a little dicey. It's not our professional live streams. There's no blinds. I'm just taking poor recommendations. and we're getting buck nasty. So I'll plan to be live for those. Just pardon my French because I get a little touch and go when it comes to the hockey. Last year, I was you know what? Let me say this before the series starts. Last year, I wanted to win more than anything because we never won. It was the year my son was born. Second year, we make it to Stanley Cups for the third year in a row. I can't ask for much more than that. Do I want the win? Yes. Are we guaranteed the win already because Oilers touched the fucking cup? Yes. But Headshot says, sounds like a fair ranking. Thank you. You're welcome. As much as I like the Old Forester, it just has more like bourbon feel to it. It was a better pour. It's still a rye, but I think the Jack Daniels is a better rye. The Still Austin would come in second there. The Rare Breed was third. Arvo says, I'm a Blues fan. I hate hockey, but I'll join you. Arvo, that was kind of a crazy comment there. We'll have to swap stories one day. I grew up in the 305 Dade County. Me too. That's where I was born. Dade County. Then I moved to Deerfield. Moved up to St. Augustine like when I was in like the first or second grade. Kevin says, I'm rooting for Florida in this one. There you go, Kevin. Fuck the Oilers. My bad. I got aggressive there. That's my fault. I didn't mean to. Aaron says, shit, I was watching Shelton during the NCAA basketball tournaments while I was watching the game. Oh, out here. I was the one that started the Angels in the outfield, so I'm going to take the win. That's on me. That was the NCAA. I had money on the Gators. That was a good time. But what time is it? 11? So I think what we're going to do, let me check real quick. Let me check. Bum, 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 bum. Get the professor in for a cameo. I'd love to get Cody on. Cody actually sent me the what did he send me? Hard Truth Sweet Mash Weeded Bourbon. That's what he brought. He brought that down from Indiana, and that was like a gift to me, which I really did appreciate. I do want to have him on. That would be cool to have him on during the hockey game if he could spit facts. I feel like I'm overstepping and asking him to do something he didn't sign up for, but we'll shoot a little message to him, see what he thinks. Maybe we can get High Top on too. You know what? Artful wins the chat tonight, boys. Dog says, cheers all, signing off. Underdog, appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us tonight. What I think we're going to do is I'm probably going to end this live stream for now. And I'm probably going to restart up on the vertical view. But that way I can like kind of reset a whole setup. And that way we can switch from rye to bourbon. You know what I mean? Do some bourbon stuff. Same started in Dade, Deerfield, now up in Ocala. Damn, headshot. We're like twinsies. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to take like a quick, what time is it? Let's say 20-30 minute intermission, grab a snack, refresh my water, do all that. And then we'll come back on. We'll do another live stream. We'll do just straight hangout stream. And we'll drink some like, Frey Ranch. We'll drink some of the Bruisel stuff if you want. I don't give a shit. We'll drink whatever you guys want. So, guys, if you like this stream, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. And I'll see you on the other side. Peace.